The night Sarah made partner was supposed to be the crowning achievement of our 7-year marriage. She stood in the center of a crystal-decked ballroom, surrounded by the city's legal elite, wearing a dress that cost more than my first car. Her parents were there, of course, sipping expensive scotch and telling anyone who would listen how Sarah had reached the top all on her own, despite being married to a simple IT guy who lacked ambition. They had no idea that for 3 years, I had been the invisible engine behind her success. While they slept, I sat in our home office until 4 a.m., building a proprietary case management AI from scratch. It was the tech that made her firm the fastest growing in the state. I gave it to her for free. I gave her my savings for her office lease. I gave her my life. But as her star rose, I became a ghost in my own home. Work is intense, she'd say, coming home at midnight smelling of expensive gin and a cologne that definitely wasn't mine. She started locking her laptop. She changed the passcode on the cloud storage we used to share. She thought she was being smart, but she forgot one thing. I built the system. One night, while she was at the office, I logged into the back end of our shared server. I wasn't looking for an affair. I was looking for a tax document. Instead, I found a folder hidden inside a system directory. It contained 2 years of invoices to a shell company called Apex Consulting. The owner? Mark, her firm's lead private investigator. She wasn't just sleeping with him. She was draining our joint retirement fund to build a war chest for her new life. She had a draft of divorce papers saved in that folder, dated for the day after her partnership announcement. She wanted to hit the big leagues and drop the dead-weight husband in the same breath. I didn't scream. I didn't confront her. I just added one final update to the software. At the gala, the atmosphere was suffocatingly smug. Her father stood up, clinking his glass. "To Sarah," he roared. "A woman who knows that to reach the top you have to leave the baggage behind." He looked right at me when he said it. The room laughed. Sarah stood up, glowing, ready to give her speech. "Before you start," I said, standing up and holding my remote, "I have one last feature to unveil for the firm's software. A transparency update." With a click, the giant projector screens behind her flickered to life. It wasn't a slideshow of her career. It was a high-resolution gallery of her and Mark at a beach resort 3 weeks ago. Then the screen scrolled through the bank transfers. $250,000 of our money moved to Mark's consulting firm. The silence was deafening. Sarah's face turned a shade of gray I didn't know was humanly possible. Her managing partner, who was sitting at the front table, stood up slowly. Legal ethics are everything in this town, and his star employee had just been exposed for embezzlement and fraud in front of their biggest clients. I walked up to her, handed her a heavy manila folder, and whispered loud enough for the microphone to catch it. "The software license is in my name, Sarah. I'm revoking the firm's access effective midnight. You're not a partner anymore. You're a defendant." I walked out as the shouting started. By the time I hit the parking lot, the managing partner had already fired her. She thought she was trading up for a better life, but she ended up with no job, no husband, and a criminal investigation. I still work in tech, but now I charge her old firm a triple premium to use my software. Every month, her former boss sends me a check that she helped me earn. What would you do if you caught your spouse stealing from your future? Let me know in the comments.